afternoon. You are watching another edition of the program Azerbaijan and the World. And today our guest is foreign policy analyst from Serbia, Vuk Vuksanovic. Hello and welcome to our program.
Thank you for having me.
Vuk, as you know, Azerbaijan and Serbia have demonstrated a strong political understanding in recent years. What, in your opinion, is the basis for such trust between Baku and Belgrade? How do you assess the role of personal dialogue between the two countries' leadership in strengthening these relations?
Well, there is no doubt that President Vučić of Serbia and President Aliyev of Azerbaijan appear to have a very good chemistry. Recently, of course, during the World Economic Forum in Davos, the two of them were seated next to each other on the same panel, where they were discussing conflicts and territorial disputes in regions like the Balkan and Azerbaijan and the role of smaller nations in world affairs. Nevertheless, I think I need to emphasize that this relationship goes back to 2008, when we had a different government in Serbia while President Aliyev was in power in Azerbaijan. So this partnership was set back then when the two parties backed each other diplomatically on their own territorial disputes, referring to Nagorno-Karabakh in case of Azerbaijan and to Kosovo in case of Serbia. And of course, we had first commercial projects during this period, like, for example, Azerbaijan's infrastructural credit lines. So this partnership was set there, but nevertheless, I would say that now we have this new dynamic between the two individual leaders is probably an additional strengthening factor in this dynamic. And it is clearly manifested just in the number of encounters that the two leaders have had in the past 3 or 4 years.
What areas of economic cooperation between Azerbaijan and Serbia, in your opinion, have the greatest potential for growth in coming years?
When this partnership kicked off, as I already mentioned, it first began in areas like infrastructural credit lines. For example, the Azerbaijani company Azerit has been implementing some projects both in Serbia and among Serbia's neighbors in the Balkans. Azerbaijan is also frequently being invoked primarily through the mediation of the European Union, which has been backing many energy diversification projects as one of the points where for example, gas dependency that Serbia and some of the other Balkan countries have vis-a-vis Russian gas supply can be ameliorated. So energy is definitely one of them. And potentially going forward, I think we might be seeing increased cooperation in defense industry, whether it comes to Azerbaijan potentially buying some products of Serbia's defense industry, or perhaps even joint ventures between the two countries' defense companies. So these are potentially the areas which we have witnessed so far, and probably the areas on which we should pay attention going forward.
Thank you very much for sharing your views with us. Thank you for your attention. Until next time.